the thing is, what I want to add are two things. Something like that you can have something like a slide show. So it means when you press the play button, then the slides are automatically changed after a certain amount of time. And of course, if you have such a feature, you should be able to set the pause between slides.
Yeah. Well, actually, you had set doing that earlier on this while we were talking about it.
Yes, no, earlier this was a slideshow in the page I was was calling. So
No.
it was not done by the presenter, but it was done by the page itself. But the feature for slideshow is already implemented, but you cannot change the time interval. I think now it's set to 30 seconds.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I want to do is to also have a flag or a checkbox for autoplay. So it means the slideshow will start automatically if you enter the region.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's good because that means it works for newcomers or people who are
Yeah,
otherwise coming in fresh and don't know what this is about.
also it's working before people understand how it is working.
Uh-huh. Uh,
Eh,
And the great thing about that is if it's set up on autoplay, the person that it plays for will get the sound. It's not for the entire region. So anybody else can just walk around as that plays for that individual person, that which I really like a lot.
exactly. Yeah, that's right. And also it means with a little bit of practice, people can study the slides. Everybody can use them as on their own pace. So some people need more time for a slide, some people need less time. So you can adjust it to your requirements.
well, and they can always come back and look at the slides later if they want to.
Yes, exactly.
So this means if you're listening to a lecture, you don't have to take notes. Um, you can come back and take notes later if you want to.
I could never read my notes when I was listening to a lecture, so that comes in handy. 'Cause I could never read my own
Yeah.
writing.
Well, I could read it, but nobody else could read my writing. So I guess I was writing in code. But
Yeah, and the best thing is, as a professor or as a teacher, you can combine things. So, for example, you could put in there a slide playing a video, giving a short lecture, and the next slide can simply direct you to a Moodle page where you can do a short test.
yeah, well, actually,
So
go ahead.
yeah, so to see just if you did understand the contents of the video, and you will be if you are able to answer some simple questions or more complex question, because with Moodle you can make these tests quite powerful.
Yeah, well, now that's of course the kind of thing I'm really thinking about in terms of instruction. You don't give an hour's lecture; you give a 5-minute lecture and find out if they understood that, and let them to find out and go back and re-listen if they didn't understand it. They can go back. Uh,
Yes.
and I was thinking, now if I was going to do this as a professor, yeah, I would be glad to have that slide to talk about. But I really wouldn't care about having an audience at all. I would just make a video of the whole thing, and I could cut it up into 5 to 7 minute segments. Well, I would probably break them in segments like that, which is really what I did when back in the olden days when I lectured. I wasn't that obvious about it, but basically, I pretty much always planned that I was going to interrupt what I was talking. Well, I was going to change the topic, or rather, I was going to cut any topic that I was going to have. I was going to cover in 5 to 7 minutes and tell everybody, and then do something to break to another topic. Which is what.
That's a
Will you do that?
yeah, please.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I I was actually going to say that I had a college professor that my entire job in his classroom was to say something funny about every 10 minutes to keep people awake.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, the you could essentially make arrange to break it every five every well whatever time, but 5 to 7 minutes, um, and what I would probably do is I wouldn't need anybody. I would just make a series of videos of that length, and I would assign them to the class. And then I would want, after each one, I would want to ask a question or two, to let them decide for themselves whether they understood it. And if they didn't, they can go back and watch it again.
Yeah, but you see, that's the same principle when you order a course by Udemy or so. Then you also, each video clip usually is 5 or less minutes. And that's, I think, it's perfect because then you can study 1 or 2 videos in a row, take a short break, and then you can continue. But you are not forced to watch 30 or 50 minutes of a straight video clip. You can really choose your own pace, and I think that's really an accomplishment. Nowadays, you have tools where you can simply split a video at specific points and make them at a let's say optimum length.
Yes, right. Or what I would do well, actually, that's what I'm going to do with this video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and it's already run well over my 7 minutes. So I will go back and make a cut at some point and make several cuts. But of course, that will merely illustrate what the point that I'm making, and also illustrate the advantage that we have of being able to make a video without writing a script, but we have presented useful information.
Yeah, and sometimes you can make not a real presentation, but you can make a great video just by asking questions and collecting the answers.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I wanted to do here is illustrate that essentially we are a work group talking about your product, talking about how to promote or publicize your product. And that's what we're doing. And we've done that, as a matter of fact, without ever writing any copy. Which is
Right, and because we demonstrate just by using it.
that's right. So we actually demonstrate its value. So we don't just have to talk about how valuable it is. We demonstrate its value by making a video in it.